Creating a new student record. Once the intake process is complete, data entry personnel should prepare to transfer information from the student's ISRF Individual Student Record form into a new student record in ASISTS. In order to create a new student record, move your cursor over to the Student Information tab on the ASISTS navigation bar and select Add New Student Information. On the Student Information screen, there will be 4 fields highlighted in blue: first name, last name, birth date, and original program start date. Collectively, this data is referred to as the student's threshold information. These fields must be completed in order to successfully create a new student record. After the student's threshold information has been entered, please click the Save and Continue button at the bottom of the screen to open the rest of the student record. The student record is separated into different tabs. Each tab contains a screen where different categories of student data can be entered. The first of these tabs is the Contact Information screen. The Contact Information screen is where the majority of information collected from the ISRF will be entered. On the left-hand side, there are individual sections labeled Contact Information, Work Eligibility, Gender Ethnicity Information, Employment Information, Funding Information, Public Assistance Information, Educational Background Information, Nationality Information, Parental Child Information, Population Categories, and Referral Information. In this video, we will focus on sections that will contain data that will be indicated on WIOA, NRS, or NYRS reporting. The second section of the screen has room for student contact information, including address, 2 phone numbers, email address, and emergency contact information. While these fields are not required, it is a good idea to enter all data points that are available and keep them up to date as the year goes on. The third section on the screen is Work Eligibility. This section contains 2 data fields: Social Security number and an affirmation that the intake personnel asked the question. Please note, it is an agency decision on whether the Social Security number should be entered into ASISTS as part of the student's record. Please confirm with your program manager about your agency's position on entering Social Security numbers. SSN. Once a Social Security number is entered into this field, it can only be edited by select personnel, so please ensure that it is entered correctly. SSN, Work Visa Decline. If the student's ISRF does not contain a Social Security number, check off the Student Cannot, Will Not Provide checkbox, and then choose the name of the personnel that conducted this intake from the Intake Staff dropdown. Collectively, the next few sections, gender, ethnicity, and employment information, are called a student's key demographics. This data must be collected for WIOA, NRS, and NYRS reporting purposes. This is indicated by the blue labels for each field. There are 2 data fields in the Gender Ethnicity Information section. Gender. Choose the gender from the drop-down that matches the indicated gender on the student's ISRF. Current choices are male and female, based on federal reporting requirements. Race, ethnic identity. This is a 2-step process. First, choose either Hispanic, Latino, Latina, or non-Hispanic, Latino, Latina from the drop-down menu. Then, in the race, ethnic identity categories, at least one checkbox must be marked, but you may select all the checkboxes that the student identified with on the ISRF. Please note that the data collected for the Gender Ethnicity Information section is self-reported by the student. It is not up to the data entry personnel to make changes to this data based on his or her judgment. It should be entered as it was recorded. Next, you'll see the Employment Information section. To add a new employment status, click the Add New Employment Status button at the top right corner of the Employment Information section. This will open a pop-up window with the following data entry fields: Employment status. Please note, only the employment status and the fiscal year are required for reporting purposes. All other information fields are optional. From the drop-down menu, choose the employment status that reflects the choice indicated on the student's ISRF. FY stands for fiscal year. Select the current fiscal year from the drop-down menu. Employer name. If the ISRF has indicated that the student is working full or part-time and an employer name was provided, enter it here. Last employ date. If the ISRF has indicated that the student is currently unemployed and provided their last date of employment, enter it here. Release date. If the ISRF indicated a student was an inmate and provided their anticipated release date, enter it here. Annual income. If an employed student has indicated their income, select the appropriate range from the drop-down menu. To save this information, please click Insert. A new student record will not have any previous employment status recorded, whereas a continuing student will have an employment status for each fiscal year they continue to participate at your agency. It is essential for data entry personnel to add a new employment status for each fiscal year a student continues to receive agency services.